So he obviously was around for a while after that. And I really love that set of drums too. And then with the 9-piece slinger, I took a 20-inch bass and turned it into a floor tom. So any of you musicians, it was quite the kit. Christmas break. Well, this is really making shit. You know how you do stuff that's just really stupid and you go, well, I bought the drums with my room and board money, which meant that I had to move out of the dorm come Christmas break. Found a house to live south of Muncie, no heat, no running water. I had electricity, so I'm thinking, okay, cool, I can figure this out. I got baseboard heaters and comforters for my grandmother and set a room up, and I was cool. Had a car at the time, so I got back and forth to school okay. However, one day I was driving into town or in school. It had just snowed, roads were kind of slushy, and I just turned onto a road. I'm doing maybe 20, 25 miles an hour, if that. And all of a sudden, this little black Falcon comes into my lane. I'm like, oh shit. So I swerved and missed it and clipped off the telephone pole. There were two of them right next to each other. One that was rotten and the brand new one. I hit the rotten one, flipped it off, and beat the car, totaled it, and took it away. Turned out the black Falcon was being driven by an off-duty cop that had borrowed the car from another cop's car lot because his car was getting worked on. Well, needless to say, the report got changed and I ended up losing anything on the car. However, put me in a spot where I needed rides back and forth. Well, a few days later, we had one of the worst storms in Indiana's history. And I wake up to my music alarm at 5 o'clock in the morning to a wind chill factor of 77 below zero. So what do you do? I got dressed. I figured, okay, I got to make it to school because I'm out of this. So I bundled up. I walked half a mile up the highway. Got picked up by a couple that was just coming back from the Nickel Winter Show down in Indianapolis. Dropped me off at another crossroad. I got out, started to crank again. White out now, dark. Cars are going by me, not seeing me, or not stopping. Fingers and toes started tingling. I knew I had to do something, so I figured, okay, I'm either going to get hit if I stand out in the road, I'm going to freeze to death, or I might get hit and injured or whatever, but it's whatever. What do you do in that kind of shape? You just stand out in the road to get somebody to see you. And the car stopped, fortunately. Took me into the school, went to school that day, ended up at a girls' dorm late that night, left at midnight with curfew, walked across the street into a frat house I've never been to. Now, I had long hair and a beard, mid-70s, going into a frat house full of jocks. The two just didn't get along. So I knocked on the door anyway, and I wasn't thinking about it, and the guy in my statistics class opened the door. He said, what are you doing there? I said, man, I work for you guys, and so I kind of explained what's going on. I said, yeah, come on. So we went upstairs, played pool for a while, and when I had to go to the bathroom, and as I'm headed up there, this guy comes out of the upstairs room, and he's probably not quite the size of what's the lineman, Darnell. Anyway, football player. At least twice my size. Starts yelling and screaming profanities at me, comes down, grabs me, throws me out the side door below ground, up the stairs, and I'm like, can't even get my coat hat. No! I'm going to come back and pee. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I walked around to the house, snuck in, tried my coat hat, he saw me again, followed me out, ended up smacking me up against the side of a car, and I fell off the bed, trying to back up through the snow, trying to get into at least, and it's the campus police. So they take me to the hospital, stitch me up. I walk into the waiting room afterwards, and the dean of admissions, who was a family friend, was waiting there. Evidently my father had told him that I was on the edge and that things needed to be, or that I needed somebody to look out for me, and so Joe told the campus police my name never came up, that he was to be notified. Great. So Dad shows up finally. I said, glad to see you, I'm ready to go home. And he said, no, I don't think so. He needs to take a little bit. And I'm taking low to the head. I play football. I got knocked out a couple of times. Low to the head, possible concussion, overnight observation. Yeah, well, a couple of days come up, escort me onto the elevator, take me up to the 7th floor, doors open up, this big black guy sitting on a chair, gets down, grabs a lot of keys, says, oh, I got another one for me, huh? Oops. It's a psych ward. So, immediately they filled me full of Thorazine, knocked me out for a day or so. Came to, told the shrink what I was up to. He put the old label on me of everything, which meant manic depressive, paranoid, schizophrenic, and they had me on 2,000 milligrams of Thorazine a day, 4 dosages, 500 at a time. I should have been alone in the corner. Had I had the, and I'm aware of this now, having taught special ed and knowing how they medicate the kids and don't necessarily know what their blood type or chemistry is, but they observe what they do, you know, their dosage is correct. So, I am trying to talk and they're not listening, and I finally, of course I'm up playing the male nurses ping pong on Thorazine and beating them. So, what they were trying to treat me for really wasn't what was going on. It wasn't until I recognized that until I told them what they wanted to hear, I was going to be stuck. So I finally told them what they wanted to hear. Miracle cure. Immediately. So they started reducing my dosage and I got out. I learned a lot in there, and a lot of that was from talking with other people, recognizing that there's people with sensitivities that aren't being recognized, and they're being treated harshly because of that. They don't know how to articulate what's going on. So think about this as you're going through life and meeting people that seem a little whacked out sometimes. Maybe they just can't articulate. They're not, you know, your mind travels so fast, manic depressives. When they're in a manic place, their mind is going so fast, their thoughts slow down. Be friendly. Because that's all they're looking for. Most of them are very gentle in most cases. So just kind of be aware of that and treat them with kindness, compassion. If you don't already, I'm sure this would probably best because you're more aware than most. But talk about that. So, in that slowing down and getting grip, afterwards, I ended up getting married, worked a couple of jobs, started as a meat cutter, machinist, and still was playing in a band. I was actually playing, everybody know the Pedro Trio, the name ring a bell, it's a gospel band from my hometown, actually internationally known. Well, one of their sons was a bass player for the band that I played in. And our lead singer was dating his daughter at the time, and they were going through a divorce. So he thought, you know, I don't know if I really want this. We were just so close to going on the road. We had a couple of hit songs on the homegrown album for Indiana. So he backs up. The other two jobs fall through. This was in early '81. And if anybody knows what was going on in the Midwest at that time, the auto industry had taken it up in '78, '79, and so it trickled down into the communities. By that time, the jobs were really scarce. Most everybody was gone by that time. So I searched a couple of counties, found jobs, everything fell through. So I walk out on the front porch and throw my hands up to the sun. I said, okay, where do you want to go? I'm listening.